The LEGO series is the video game equivalent of comfort food. With each new game made in the series, we know exactly what to expect. Charming humor and enjoyable gameplay, among other things. And it's always good. Another LEGO game is almost upon us, and the LEGO Movie 2 video game is promising exactly those things, with some additions of its own. In this feature, we'll be taking a look at 14 things you should know about it. The setup. Being a movie tie-in, the LEGO Movie 2 video game will, of course, feature a similar setup. Emmett and other characters find themselves in a Bricksburg left in ruins, in the wake of the invasion by the alien monsters. Obviously, it now falls to Emmett and his friends to not only rescue even more characters, but also to rebuild the world. Rebuild the world. Rebuilding the world, as we just discussed, will be an important part of the game's story mode, but players will also have the option to flex their creative muscles elsewhere. The LEGO Movie 2 video game features a sandbox mode, where players will be able to use the creation tools on offer to let their imaginations run wild, and build whatever the tools allow them to. Building tools. Speaking of building, a larger focus on building mechanics in the LEGO Movie 2 video game is the one area in which the game is doing something that is quite different from previous LEGO titles. Using the LEGO bricks that you pick up during gameplay, you'll be able to build structures freely, anytime and anywhere. This mechanic, according to the developers, will also impact puzzles quite a bit. Roster. LEGO games have always offered massive and varied rosters of playable characters, and the LEGO Movie 2 video game is going to be no different. There are going to be over 100 playable characters, which include, of course, the likes of Emmett, Lucy, and Batman, in addition to several returning characters from the first game as well. On top of that, new mysterious additions like General Mayhem and Rex Dangervest will also be joining the party. Enhanced combat. We pretty much already know what to expect from combat in the LEGO Movie 2 video game. Simple, fun, and accessible, like any other game in the series. That said, developers TT Fusion have said that combat mechanics in the game will be enhanced. While they haven't gone into detail about what to expect by way of said enhancements, other than mentioning special build attacks for each character, we can probably look forward to new combos and abilities. Build attacks. Speaking of build attacks, these sound particularly interesting. Each of the master builders from the first movie, or game, will have unique build attacks of their own, where each character will build something special to then use in combat. Emmett will build himself a mech that he will then pilot. Lucy will build massive speakers that sound out explosive waves, while Batman will be able to build a huge bat turret. Worlds. In the LEGO Movie 2 video game, the worlds we'll be visiting are going to be almost as important as the characters we'll be playing as, and apparently there's going to be plenty of worlds to visit. In addition to new worlds based on the ones in the movie itself, several worlds from the first game will also be returning. Taking stuff from the films. Movie tie-ins haven't always worked out very well in our medium, but the LEGO games always seem to find the right ways to make them work. The LEGO Movie 2 video game will be attempting to do just that, taking world, events, and set pieces from the movie that the developers felt would specifically make for great gameplay sections, rather than just copy-pasting all of it wholesale. Various styles and eras. Just like the first game, and both the movies of course, the LEGO Movie 2 video game is being built by developers TT Fusion as the ultimate fan service experience for LEGO fans. Multiple LEGO eras will be represented in the game though, including the likes of Blacktron Alliance, Pharaoh's Quest, and Johnny Thunder. Open-ended levels. Levels in the LEGO Movie 2 video game are going to be much more open-ended than players are usually used to seeing in LEGO games. And while that will of course impact moment-to-moment gameplay and exploration in interesting ways, the developers are also leveraging these larger levels to do other interesting things as well. For instance, several characters that appear in the movie only momentarily will have much more focus placed on them in the game, which will use its larger spaces to facilitate entire missions and backstories around them. Keeping it fresh. We started this feature by likening LEGO games to comfort food, because of the familiar rhythm and formula they have found themselves in on a consistent basis throughout the years. But the LEGO Movie Videogame 2 will be making a few tweaks here and there in an attempt to keep it fresh, just as other LEGO games do as well, in fact. The addition of building and new combat abilities are surely bound to help, while the Relics system, which will have players looking for pods to find new and occasionally rare items, promises to contribute toward that end as well. Character customization. Character customization has always been a big draw for any LEGO game, and that's going to be true here as well, even if you can't create a protagonist of your own like you could in last year's DC Supervillains. The LEGO Movie 2 video game will offer some interesting customization tools and options, and allow players to create a mishmash of multiple characters in the game. Collectibles. Another staple in any LEGO game is looking for collectibles scattered throughout their levels, and yes, the LEGO Movie 2 video game will be following suit here as well. From masterpieces, which will be required to unlock new worlds, to relics, which we just discussed, there will be plenty of opportunities for players to look for hidden collectibles in each of the game's levels. JOYCON support. Co-op in LEGO games is always a blast, but it's even more enjoyable when it's played locally, which is true for pretty much any game actually. The Nintendo Switch version of the LEGO Movie 2 video game will have the upper hand over other versions of the game here, as it will be taking advantage of the system's dual Joy-Cons to allow for local co-op. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, please hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to switch on the notifications bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.